What's going on, guys? This is Patrick with InvestTGP here with episode 2 of Car Thoughts. You might notice that I'm wearing the same clothes that I was in episode 1, and you'd be absolutely right. I'm on the same drive, and it's a 4-hour drive, so I may have 10 episodes by the time this is all done. But also been thinking about habits, and want to talk to you a little bit about habits and the one thing. How many times have you decided that I need to fix a habit, or I need to get in shape, or I need to eat better? And you have something that you want to do, and now it becomes a matter of willpower, and you fall off the wagon. I bet if I asked you to raise your hands, a lot of you would probably raise your hand. I think what I've learned from listening to some of the One Thing podcasts and hearing people talk about it, when you try to figure out what that one thing is, let's use eating out as an example. Like, I want to eat healthier and I want to cut out eating out. So you just set that as, call it a New Year's resolution, that I'm not going to eat out anymore. And then you start failing because you fall off the wagon, you start eating out once or twice, and then the habit just goes away and it's no longer a habit and you feel like you failed. The idea behind that, though, is what if you broke that down and made it smaller? What if you made it a goal that was so easy to attain that it felt like it was cheating? And instead of doing that very large thing of cutting out all fast food altogether, or cutting out all eating out, instead you figured out what was the one thing that I can actually do right now that would make it a lot easier to quit. And if you take that a couple steps back, maybe it's the natural thing goes to cooking and all those types of things. Maybe it's a step back from that. Maybe it's writing out what you're gonna eat the next day. Maybe it's writing out where you're gonna be for each of the 3 meals, and then figuring out a plan for how you're gonna do it. Maybe it's taking it a step back even further, and you're literally just laying out your calendar for the day. That will allow you to then add in what you're gonna eat at each point. Start with a very, very small step, and then accomplish it. You can accomplish it on a regular basis. It's not hard to do. Now you get that as a habit. Once that's a habit, you build the next small habit on top of that. Now you're already in the routine of knowing every single thing that you're gonna do throughout the day. Okay, now the next habit is, what am I gonna eat at each point? I'm gonna think about that the night before. Then all of a sudden, you get 3 or 4 dominoes down the line, and all of a sudden you're eating healthier. You're no longer eating fast food because you've done that one little seemingly unimportant step. So, if you've read The One Thing, if you haven't read The One Thing, I highly encourage you to check it out. I'll put a link to it below. But they use the idea of dominoes a lot, and the amount of force that a domino can create. One little small 2-inch domino that can now knock down a 3-inch domino, and each domino can knock down something 50% bigger. So you start with that one very, very, very small step that is easy to accomplish. You start knocking that one down, and all of a sudden you can start knocking down giant goals. So encourage you to start thinking real small in your goals, or start acting real small in your goals, but think big in the big picture, and start finding out what that lead domino is that you can work on. Check out The One Thing, check out their podcast, check out their book, check out their community. Super valuable in helping you think about these things. So who knows, I might have another episode here in the next 10 minutes, but I'll see you again soon.